Oh, well, hello, my fellow Cubists, and welcome to the 41st episode of the Curve the Cube podcast. Curve the Cube is a South Florida-based arts, entertainment, and media podcast aimed at inspiring you to pursue your dreams, not to get stuck in a rut, and, have some fun. Live your passions, be you, be different, be weird. Just be sure to be you and feed your soul. And whether you can do it full-time or part-time, whatever it is, just get out there and find yourself and have some fun. And so that's what this podcast is aimed at, and today's guests are doing just that. They are Greg and Ivan of the band Chemradery, and I was so excited to have these guys on. You have no idea. They've only been together since January. I mean, they're seasoned professional musicians in their own right, but as far as being a band, Chemradery's only existed since January of 2015, and so they're young, but they are so successful already. They're just a huge hit on the South Florida scene, and places are embracing them. They play it, oh gosh, they play at all kinds of places like Copper Blues and Harborside, and they're just incredible. So be sure to find them on chemradery.com, Chemradery. Oh God, I spelled that right. .com. And on the social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, they're all over that. So be sure to find out where their next tour dates are. They do some covers, but their real jewels and real gold is in their original music. It's super fantastic. In fact, at the end of the podcast, they'll have a little bit of a sample for you treat of one of their tracks, one of my faves. And yeah, they have an EP coming out soon. They're also going to have a huge show at the end of the year that they tease, and so look for that big announcement coming up on their social media as well. And I was just so excited to have them. They're an absolute delight. They're funny, they're warm, they're gracious, and just super duper lovely dudes, aside from being super duper lovely musicians. And I was so excited to have them, and thank you to Greg and Ivan for just being so wonderful. And right after we wrapped up the podcast, their bassist Mark actually came out and met up with us, and so you'll see him in the little picture thumbnail collage that I'm putting together for this episode. And so that's Mark, Greg, and Ivan in that picture, and they're just incredible dudes. And this podcast is sponsored by the one, the only Little Smiles. I'm sure you've heard them before. I've heard of them before. If you have any interest in this podcast at all, you've heard about Little Smiles. Little Smiles is great. Their main goal is just to put smiles back on the faces of kids in our area who are impoverished or disabled or dealing with a chronic illness or whatever scores of issues that kids in our neighborhood, in our communities can have. They step in and do as much as they can, and they're just such a wonderful organization. So please go to littlesmiles.org, find the Florida chapter, and just send in a donation, because these people are incredible. They do wonderful events all the time that help also raise some extra funds. So be sure to find out what's coming up around the corner for them on their calendar, or just donate to this wonderful cause. So this is the 41st episode of the Curve the Cube podcast, brought to you by Flintstone Media. Sit back, relax, and enjoy some amazing chemistry with the wonderful Chemradery. Love you guys. This is Jemmy. Bye. Enjoy. Curve the Cube will now initiate.
Hola.
Hey, fellas.
You got attacked by a cat. You got attacked by a cat.
Totally attacked.
Me too. Like, terribly. What's going on?
Hi,
by a cat? How are you?
I
love cats.
Let's see. Very vicious cat.
No, her own cat, though. Your own cat, though.
My own cat.
I love my cat.
Here,
what happened?
Like puncture wounds.
Why?
Puncture wounds.
Why?
No, this is from the doctor. But this is the worst of it. All swollen up.
Why? What did you do?
You know what? I'm still trying to figure it out.
Oh, that's a
My
scary
son
cat.
has a new toy that like shoots. You guys ever seen the movie Big Hero 6?
No, but I know the
Baymax character, and his
right.
arms shoot off. So we got a new toy that shoots his arm off.
Yeah.
So he's running through the apartment shooting everything, and it goes in the cat's direction. He kind of freaked out a little bit.
Aww.
And I went to go pet him or pick him up or something, and whoa, he lost his mind. He like immediately clamped on my finger and just tore me to pieces.
I saw some pretty bad things this week. I was at a gas station pumping gas, and I see a bunch of geese there, and I'm like, it's just geese, who cares,
Yeah.
right? And I walk in to pay for my gas. I see through the window, 3 of those geese are beating the crap out of one of them. like,
oh damn,
They had turned on one.
attack, and I'm like, oh, they're just geese, whatever. And
Right.
And they'll just playing
you feel
around. I walk
obligated,
out.
you're like, I gotta save a life.
I walk out, bro.
This
This isn't gonna be like, you're not gonna believe this, but I walk out and there's blood all over the floor, and
God.
there's one twitching on the floor like that, and the other
Damn.
three are like watching him die.
Oh,
It was
That's
traumatizing,
intense.
bro. It was
That's intense.
I
traumatizing.
kind of wonder if like one of them was the alpha geese and the other two followed suit.
Yeah,
For some
dude.
reason,
It was dead
Man,
on the
I don't
floor.
have any
That's
awesome
crazy.
animal stories this week like you guys do.
Well, you have an awesome dog. You can just tell us how awesome he is.
That's better news than
He is full of
Right?
shit.
I hope
He
he's
is
all
full of
nice
shit.
he is with the cat.
He doesn't
Or the
like the
geese.
shit.
Right.
I think I would have killed my cat though if he did that shit.
I
Yeah,
honestly-
yeah. I would have been
like,
Alex.
yeah,
No.
it would have been up against the
seriously,
wall.
It
like-
sucked because I had no way to get him off of me except to kick him.
Yeah,
And it
what
was
else?
all I could do. And my son's 3.5, and he's seeing this happen. I had to tell him,
Yeah.
yell at him, get him
Right,
in my
right,
room.
right.
I mean, literally blood everywhere. And
my
eventually,
God.
the only way I could get him off was I got a couple of oven mitts on, and then I grabbed him
This
again.
is all while he's biting
It
you?
was like 5 minutes.
Oh my god.
5 minutes. Yeah.
I mean, it was carnage. So I grabbed my oven mitts, and he slashed right through them again. And I just like opened the door with my elbows and
my
like tossed him. I was
God.
like, oh my god, I don't even know what just
Yeah,
happened.
right?
But
Is
if
he
he
an
didn't go
indoor
after
cat?
me,
Indoor?
he was indoor cat only. I got him when he was about
Crazy.
6 months old. So
What?
I
See,
got
usually
him.
when you have them since they're kittens,
Yeah.
they like.
That's
Right.
crazy. I can't imagine my cat ever doing that, but damn, good to
Out
know.
of nowhere. Well, are you guys comfortable here?
Yeah,
or-
yeah.
You guys have a seat? Yeah, so I'm so excited you guys are here.
Awesome.
Super excited you guys are here.
Pictures here too. Sorry?
We're doing a podcast. Click away, click away. You can, yeah,
Get in
feel,
there.
are you
Oh, bro,
sure?
can sit up there.
Are you sure? Okay.
Oh, where?
It's however you want to be set up, whatever's comfortable.
Do I go up there?
If you want, it's up to you.
What? Are they filming?
I thought no.
Microphone.
I think they're just
No,
taking some
it's the,
pictures.
Yeah, we can do this.
So yeah.
I was gonna bring my GoPro, but I don't.
Oh,
have
sorry, I
the,
just stepped on your foot.
What's it called?
Oh, you have a
Micro
GoPro?
SD.
I'm so jealous. I want one of those.
I just bought it.
You did?
Yeah. I just
How's
bought
it going so
yesterday.
far?
I have no idea because I
You haven't
literally,
used it yet?
I literally just bought it at the Hard Rock show we did the other day.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was
wasn't
gonna
that
be
last
like,
night or was
yeah,
that?
last time we played at the Hard Rock.
How was it?
It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always like playing at the Hard Rock. It's very
It's a good time.
Oh, so it wasn't your first time there?
No.
Oh.
This is at the cafe. The big boy is at Hard Rock Live.
Gotcha.
So they bring in, everybody.
Soon
that's not
enough.
us.
Soon enough.
Soon enough. I bet you guys are going to go. So introduce yourselves on the podcast, because I know who you are, but introduce yourselves on the podcast so they know who the voices are.
Cool. I'm Greg,
Ivan.
All right.
and we are 2 of the 4 members of Chemradery.
Yeah, and you guys are the founding members, right?
That's true.
Tell us about how that all came about. How did you guys find each other? And, I was reading a little bit up on you guys, and you just seemed like a great, no pun intended, but chemistry. And so tell us about that process. How did that discovery happen?
You want to take that? Or
Yeah. So it was pretty clear cut. We have a lot of common contacts, and then I saw this dude sing one day, and I'm like, whoa.
He was terrible.
He's terrible.
I had an off day.
I won't be calling him.
But then no one else returned your call, so.
So anyway, last person on the list was Greg, and I'm like, all right, fine.
Nice.
Give him a call, he's over, and then we kind of just start writing right away.
Yeah. And did you anticipate how well things would gel? Or did you sense something when you saw him? Or
Not
was it
really.
just
No,
like I like
because
your voice?
actually, to be honest with you, one of the first times that he actually did see me, out of the hundreds of shows that I've done, actually did happen to be an off night. Now that I think about it,
Really?
because we were both in different bands, and the band that I was with that night had a new bass player for that night working. So we were all sorts of off, and I'm usually all over the stage, and I'm usually like
Super
walking
high
around the
energy.
people and blah 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 blah. But that night I was a little angry because we weren't on, so I was standing right in the same spot. And I had just talked in for the first time. I was just like, oh, this guy's gonna think I'm the biggest jerk. He was like, yeah, you're a pretty good singer. Let me see you live. And then he just sees me standing at the thing, clenching
So you knew
my
he was going
hands.
to be there? Or did he just, oh, gotcha.
It was kind of, yeah, we had talked about it, but everything was out of my mind except for we're doing terrible right now. So, but no, we linked up after that, and it started as just like we're gonna write songs and blah blah blah, and then some of the stuff actually ended up being pretty good.
Yeah.
And
let's start a band.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
That's awesome. And so with the rest of your band, are they, I was trying to figure out, are they permanent members? Are they fluid members? Are they, like, who are the rest of your members of your band? Is Del Mark
we've
your
all been
bassist?
together. We've been playing out live for probably, I don't know, since like
January, maybe January this year.
Yeah, January 2015. Like,
that's it?
It's pretty short. Pretty short.
You guys are everywhere.
Yeah, we had a. There was no drop-offs of like, you know, except for with the other bands that we were playing with, kind of thing. I mean, you know, that's just how it goes. But I mean, we kind of translated where we were playing at with our other places and continuity of who knew us and what type of styles we would do into where we play now.
But we got a great group of guys. I mean,
for sure.
Mark is a bass player. We actually found him through some common contacts as well, Killer. And then we actually took the drummer of his old band to kind of play with us. So
there you go.
Well. Yeah, they're permanent members. We play.
Terrible singer and a thief.
There you go.
Exactly.
Starting to figure you guys out.
That's us.
Exactly what it was.
But it's okay. So Greg, you're the vocalist.
Yeah.
And Ivan, you're the main guitarist, right? Okay, so when you guys write songs, are you thinking about the lyrics and you're thinking about the melody, or is it kind of just everything all together?
I mean, there's so many different circumstances for songwriting.
Yeah.
I mean, specifically, like today, I actually mentioned something on my Facebook page because sometimes you can have this idea where you're like, yo, I want to write about a breakup with somebody, or like this hypothetical situation that I have in my mind, and then you sit there and you write like 2 or 3 lines and nothing. Writer's block, and it's just not vibing, nothing's going together, and then something happens. Like I read a quote. Sometimes it's a word, sometimes it's a picture for inspiration, and this quote was, "I didn't come this far to only come this far." And I was just like,
I love that.
Yeah, like you know, so something like that.
Yeah.
It just comes right off the page.
There
You know what I mean? It just flows out, type of thing. So in terms of like, I'll use one of our well-known songs, probably the one that's on iTunes, Pandora. We did a video for it, "Hard as You Can." I mean, in that case, like literally, he was working on instrumentation. And he sent me a production of just instrumentation. It was just like, what can you do with this?
Yeah.
And I was on a plane from Philadelphia coming back, and I saw a quote that said, like, there's 86,400 seconds in a day. What will you do with it? And literally, "Hard as You Can" was written in probably like 2.5 hours.
There you go.
Because of the instrumentation and what I was going through at that point. And that quote, I mean, it just
came together.
Put it all together, and we got in the studio, we recorded that, and did the video within like a month of it.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Some songs come like that, and other songs we've been holding on to.
And then we've had songs that we've worked months on, and it's just not getting anywhere.
Tons.
And so, would you say that your muse is more external, and then it kind of hits something inside? You find external things. How about and you?
For me, internal experiences as well. So you know, for instance, "Party Foul," which is, you know, one of our songs that's going to be on the record, is.
I haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah. It's soon to come out.
Okay. I was like,
it's about a good time and having a good time. So, you know, you take experiences that you go through and apply those when you write.
Are you into a lot of party fouls that happen in your life?
This guy is actually the perfect example of the name of this song.
Don't believe those things.
That's why
every second.
I dedicate the song to him every time we sing it. I'm like, oh man, this is dedicated to him. Because man, this guy no, I'm just kidding. But seriously, no, I mean, it's funny because when that was that the first song that we ever wrote?
Worked on. Yeah, we worked on that.
Was it?
His song, that song was already it had like, he had a chorus to it, right? Like, and an idea behind it.
And a terrible verse.
It wasn't that terrible. It wasn't that terrible. Like 1 to 10, it was like a 2. So no, I'm just.
Had a couple quick keywords.
No. It was. I saw the idea that he was trying to go with.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes like the best lyrics, I can't say the best because, you know, I'm just going off of what I think in my head, basically.
Yeah.
But is to leave people wondering what the song is about.
Right.
I mean, it's obviously about having a good time and like relaxing. Like the first couple words of the song is, let's get loose, get excited, don't hold back, you're invited. You know, it's about like having a good time.
Come have a good time.
Yeah, that's what it's about. So I mean, there's all different kinds of stuff, and that's what I pride our music on. Is that, you know, they say, quote unquote, the feels, but our music makes me feel, like, you know what I mean? Like, I go, like, I can remember this time, whether this was written about this, or when he wrote this instrumentation part, and I'm like, man, you know what I mean? It's just, it's so I guess that's translating to some of our, another quote-unquote success as of lately, you know?
Well, when I was listening to your music, it made me think that a lot of it is, it almost feels spiritual, like the way that you write and the way that you guys are playing, it almost feels like there might be a couple different layers to every song, and that, I just found that interesting. Do you feel like, do you find in the end, after you put something together, that it ends up speaking to you guys differently?
I find that it touches you, you know, and I think before you start the song, you have an idea in your head, okay, this is how it's going to sound, and then when it's done, it might be completely different. So I can relate that comment to that. But that initial spark of what inspired you to write the song to begin with, I think it remains true, or has remained true thus far, right?
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, like, and you can relate it to any specific area of your life. Like, specifically for Hard As You Can again, that song, I had, unfortunately, had two friends that passed away in a short amount of time, and these were people that I had, you know, grown very close to. One of my, you know, ex-roommates in school, and also another close friend. And so, I mean, that just, like, when it came off the page after seeing that quote, to me,
the quote about the time.
That's what I think about. But, you know, other people, you know, you might hear, like, live each moment like your last, because life is just too fast and you only get one shot to love as hard as you can. You know, we were sent a video from one of our friends whose mother owns a school called Ideal School, and she sent us a training video for basically how she played our song for all the teachers in the school, and was just like, you know, what inspires you to live every day, you know, as hard as you can? What inspires you to wake up to teach these children and stuff like that? So, I mean, even just to see a classroom full of like 30 teachers that are listening to our song and drawing pictures and drawing inspiration from something that we did is
I'm sure that's
enough for me.
Amazing.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
That first line of Hard As You Can made me think of, it made me immediately relate to the movie or the musical Rent. Okay. Have you guys heard that? Because there's a song, that, like, the main song, I can't remember the numbers exactly, but it's like 10,000, 2,500, 600. I don't know the words. I'm like, it's something like that. It's like it's like that same type of concept of the amount of time, and that's immediately that's immediately what I thought of. I was like,
I'm not so familiar with that.
Gosh, I wish I knew it better, but that's what it made me think of. And in Rent, you know, it talks about a lot of things, but it deals with addiction and AIDS and kids like living on the streets and struggling and stuff like that. And then when I saw the video, it related a lot to it, and I was like, that's one I'm interested.
Yeah, and it's funny how you take that specific situation and you viewed it that way.
Sorry about my Band-Aid. Cover that right back up. Ew.
Nice.
So you have a background in opera.
Yep.
I saw. And how did that happen? How did you discover that? Why were you?
I came down my whole reason for being in Florida was because of opera, because I wanted to sing opera, but instead of going to a conservatory up north or in the Northeast, I was just like, oh well, I have the opportunity to go to Florida and Palm Beach Atlantic University to basically get a nice chunk of change and live on the beach. And I was like, well,
I didn't know they had an opera program there.
Yeah, they had that was pretty short-lived.
Hey, it is what it is, you know?
That was pretty short-lived, and I got into the opera program with the Palm Beach Opera Company, and I sang with them for about 8 seasons.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't remember the year, but I mean, it was a while, but I mean, and I still have love for opera, and I still, you know, I have mad respect for it. It's incredibly difficult training, and yeah, and even you know, they had asked me recently would you want to come in and just sing this small chorus role for one show for one day? And you know, it was a nice pride killer because I hadn't practiced any training for a while, and I went in there and this aria that I had sung at least a couple hundred times, I went in there and my breath control that I'm used to having, I was just like, oh, not a breath there, and I'm like, oh man, I'm getting a cramp in my voice, and I'm like, because it's a completely different thing from what we do now, and you know, that's why you go, could Pavarotti sing Justin Timberlake? Probably not. Could Justin Timberlake sing Pavarotti? You know, it's like you have to...
Probably not.
Yeah, you have to concentrate one area on what it is.
Right,
you know? So basically, the long story short is I was like, I wanted to be able to create music rather than, although opera is like the longest standing form of music that's been around, opera and classical music.
Right.
I was still singing somebody else's music.
I hear you.
You know what I mean? Same thing with when you play covers somewhere, you're still playing covers for somebody. So to be able to do that and work with other people and create music that you have that classroom full of people that do stuff like that's the whole reason why I was just like, you know,
awesome.
Wanted to, for sure.
And how about you? How did you discover guitar and all of that? How did you get started?
Creed.
What'd you say?
So, in my teenage years, I just picked up a guitar. It was a way of expressing yourself. You know, when you're in high school, there's so many, and you hear this story a lot. It's such a cliche, but it's so true. You want to find yourself when you're in high school.
Totally.
Everything means, every little mistake means the world, you know, and you look at it back, and you're like, okay, it's not such a big deal, but it was just an outlet for me. And then after that, I started practicing, rehearsing quite a bit, and I started touring with several bands around the country, things of that nature. So I really got into it. And then, just like him, there came into a point that I wanted to create music. So rather than just play guitar for other bands, I just wanted to kind of create a group together.
Right.
Yeah. So that was it.
That's awesome. Because I was reading. You seem like you have such a long history of touring under you, at least already. I mean, like where has that taken you? Around the country? Around where?
I've been to a lot of places.
Yeah.
Probably most states. Probably at this time, most states I've been already around. I played a lot of country back in the day, especially with that run I had with that CMT artist.
Okay.
So I was able to kind of visit the South, really figure out what country was all about, and then at the same time apply the blues skills that I've kind of already had in me. So, like Greg, we're both really big feel guys. Mm-hmm. So it was the perfect blend.
You like the feels.
It's all about the feel, man.
It is. Them feels.
How would you describe your music for anyone who's not familiar? How would you say what would you say is your sound?
I mean, there's not a specific. You would be able to hear our music for sure on Top 40 Radio, 97.9. You know, all that type of stuff. But it's not too far to the right pop. It's not too far to the left R&B. It's not too far to the center of rock. You know, it's a balanced. I mean, and we have different types of sounds. Like for some of our songs, we have a couple songs that might be a little bit rockier, edgier. We have a
Phase is like a little kind of almost dancey. Yeah.
I mean, you know, and that's another song where that was just a random. And we've had our friend from Deja Elise from the band Yardage kind of come in for that. And so, I mean, we're still creating a bunch of stuff, but I think it could level with the people that are being played on Top 40 right now. We did the Pandora, create your own station, and the next song that came up, based on Hard As You Can by Chemradery, it was Ed Sheeran, Thinking Out Loud, and I was just like, all right, that's not bad company. So
makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Sounds right.
You write, and then whatever comes out, and I mean, you have boundaries. We're not metal guys, so we're not going to write a metal song. Right. But I
mean, unless they're willing to.
Right. I mean,
Money talks,
baby. But I think they're
But speaking to your true self.
Right. Yeah.
But it flows, and you do what you do.
Yeah.
Regardless what genre you think it is at that point.
Yeah. And then I also noticed that, so you mentioned, like, you have a female vocalist on a couple of your songs. You have a really great piano player on, is it The Call that there's a piano? But
it has piano.
Yeah. Where do you find the people to do the extra things that you guys have incorporated into your music?
We have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Exactly. I use Gavin DeGraw as an example to this guy for a million different things. But he was like, he did an interview before that set was like, I believe in only performing what I can get on my CD. You know, so if that's 3 instruments, then boom. You know, and then he started working with Ryan Tedder, and then he started experiencing a lot more success because, you know, between the songwriting and all this kind of stuff. And so he was just like, listen, man, on some of these songs we have 20 instruments. He's like, would I love to be able to hire those 20 different instruments?
Yeah.
He's like, but then we wouldn't be able to afford to go on tour because we've got
that's true. You'd have to bring them all with you.
Giant extravaganza, you know what I mean? So, I mean, you know, until they're putting us in front of the White House and having the whole orchestra there.
Right,
you know?
right.
Our friends are going to come on.
Yeah, that's
well,
exactly
that's good.
what
That's what friends are.
Exactly. Oh, I mean, we might need enough.
Oh, stop it. Actually, it's funny that you mentioned 97.9. The first time I saw you, and I think we met that night, but I'm not sure. We may have met a little bit later. They were doing like a voice competition thing, and you were phenomenal. And I was like, who's this dude? I'm like, because I told them, I'm like, yeah, I'll go into it just to like help fill it in a little bit because the first night of it. And then I heard you, and I'm like, I'm not going. Jason's like, go. I'm like, all right, I'll do it. But you're amazing.
Thank
so
you.
good,
Appreciate
so talented. So it's amazing to see. How do you? I mean, so where do these friends of yours come from? Have you met them just through the years and through?
The local music scene has been really good to us.
Yeah, it's really amazing down here.
It's so good. I mean, Yardage. We mentioned Deja Elise from Yardage. I actually played in a battle of the bands against her.
Oh, really?
At one point, and she kicked our butt. with some other friends of mine that we did.
Yeah, I saw her live, and I was just like, hey, man. This girl's killer.
What was her name again?
Deja Elise. So we invited over to, on that song.
Of course,
you meet people.
Absolutely.
She actually, when we did the headlining for the 4th on Flagler.
Yeah. That was the video one. Is that the same? That same.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We had her up there basically the whole time. I mean, she's incredible.
Background.
That's awesome. So when you guys record your music, because I think that's something that a lot of musicians have a hard time figuring it out, is how do you get that studio time and how do you find where to do it? So can you give us a little bit of an insight into where you guys record and how you guys do all that?
Sure. So, with past experiences, I've really tried to gain a lot of knowledge from other producers, other engineers, and kind of apply what they've taught me. So right now, the way we do it is we essentially do pre-production in my house and record some stuff, lay it down, and then kind of mix it.
Dude, if it works, it works. I'm doing a podcast at a fountain. Like, if it works, it works.
Hey, you do what you can, So, not having the budget, not having, those thousands of dollars to back you up doesn't mean you can't write, create, and record.
Right. So I'm so green on this type of stuff. Do you have like a mixing board? Is it all on your computer? Is it?
Yeah, modern recording is very computer based. So you use like a DAW to record all your sources, but you still mic amps, you still mic everything. You mic his vocals, and we believe in minimal amount of processing.
Nice. She threw the jab and we did it
right there. It's still us playing live. I mean, we want to capture us playing live and what we really sound like live. You'll never hear a lot of effects on his vocals because A, he's a killer singer to begin with, right?
Oh, you go.
Despite my jabs.
And then B, you want to sound as authentic.
Right. So you mic up everything and then record it all, but everyone has a separate line.
So you're able to mess around with it. Yeah.
Interesting. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's a cool way to do it.
Cool.
So tell me about what's the daily grind like of, I guess I'll ask it 2 ways. What's the daily grind like of just keeping your band copacetic and you guys look like you're friends. It seems like you guys, are cool with each other.
We're actually in a huge argument.
Huge
argument.
I hate you, man.
She just threw it on the air fountain. Go to blows.
You know what? To be honest with you, no BS. I really do think you have to like who you work with, man. You can't. There's been, think about. I've worked in a million different types of jobs, but I mean, I use the service industry as one example because so many people can relate to that.
Yes.
Think about, you know, you've had that,
I've worked at like 6 restaurants.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you've had that person that you've just had to work with, and maybe they were your shift leader or whatever it is, but you just have to, like, you know, play Mr. Nice Guy because you know, this being basically an independent contractor, you can pick and choose who you want to work with. So if you don't work well with somebody, it's just like, bye. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to do it. And so when you are working with people, I mean, that you do get along with, it just happens to, you know, because I've played in different things, different projects where it might not be somebody that I would hang out with outside of music.
Right.
And, you know, that might work for some people. There's plenty of examples of bands that have been very successful that basically get on stage, play the show, take their paycheck, and then they go in the tabloids and they go, F him. I don't like that guy, really. I just stay on stage with him.
It always surprises me. I'm like, what?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's another thing with Chemradery, it being that chemistry, it being that camaraderie put together. You know, that's really what we kind of are standing for as a band anyway.
Yeah.
So why not? Like, everybody in this band, like, hands down gets along.
That's amazing.
I mean?
It's good.
For sure.
It's good. One of us is true with a lot of girl bands.
I don't mind.
You never know.
Hey, how many are there?
I don't know. I mean, find another one to interview next.
You know what I mean?
But okay, so, and what about the daily grind of securing shows and that part of it? Like, how do you? Because you guys do a lot of shows, and I see you doing a lot of different things. How do you book all that stuff? How does that happen? If you can give us a little bit of insight.
No, I mean,
you don't have to spill the total beans.
There's a couple big talent agencies down here. You know, it really all depends on. There's so many different layers. It's like an onion for a band. You know, there are cover bands, which is basically not what we started as. We've always had the original concept of music, our own music, at hand. But you know, the bread and butter of some of the behind the scenes of that, like paying for gear or videos and all that stuff, is playing a cover gig at a local bar. So, like I said, there's talent agencies that will put you at any bar you want to be at, but is that what you want to do?
Right.
I'll tell you, and I think I speak for both of us, that we pick our shows selectively, not because we think that we can, but we think we pick them according to what we think will further our product, our band name, our music.
Makes sense.
You know, we're playing, like I said, top 40 music that make people feel. So we're not going to necessarily go to a biker bar at 2 o'clock in the morning and sing love songs to a bunch of...
there's a super sensitive dudes in there.
I mean, hey, I don't discriminate.
Greg almost got his ass kicked that one.
Did you really? What happened?
No. He's definitely fibbing a little. But I mean, you know, it's like I said, we're not discriminating, but I mean, you know, we try and be selective and not oversaturate ourselves. So in terms of, you know, actually booking and stuff like that, you know, we'll play. We used to play Dubliner all the time, type of thing, you know, and it's really all what you want to take out of it. You know?
Right.
I could, like I was going back to the point. I can speak for both of us that we both had successful careers outside of music, and to basically focus more so on music, we didn't leave it to just play, you know, mom and pop's neighborhood bar 6 nights a week. You know?
Yeah, you really want to follow your passion.
You want to play your music, your own music, and kind of enjoy it. Our dream is to play music for people that want to hear it and then enjoy it, right? So at the end of the day, if you go to, you know, whatever bar and you get paid your whatever $500, that's not worth it, you know, just to play a whole bunch of covers. So.
Do you find that as you guys are gaining more of a reputation locally, that you're able to find the opportunities to play your own stuff more and more?
It's getting a lot better.
Yeah?
Yeah, actually, I mean, like, what do we play? We play like at least 6 right now, 6 out. But I mean, it's to the point that people they're requesting for the original songs. You know what I mean? You'll always have that guy in the background that's going, "Free Bird!"
Right.
Or "Don't Stop Believing," and I'm like, never. It'll never happen. It's never happened. I'm sorry.
Unless That's what you got, man.
Exactly.
We'll play it all night.
Yo, show me the money. No.
No. It's not worth it.
But so yeah, I mean, and so, you know, Palm Beach County, man, it's starting to mold for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, since January we've been playing out, and since May we've played the Special Olympics torch ceremony relay across America.
Did you really? That's
and,
awesome.
West Palm. You know, we played the Clematis by Night 20th anniversary.
Yeah, I saw that.
And you know, 97.9 picked us out of, they could have picked anybody.
Yeah.
You know? So I mean, we were honored to do that. We were like, hey, it's less than a year and we're already doing this stuff, and
despite your terrible voice.
Yeah, despite my terrible voice, we've got some. We're going back to Clematis by Night. We've got, an offer that's kind of hush-hush right now for a big show, potentially very close to where we're at right now.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm looking forward to that news. I'm sure it's going to happen.
For sure.
It's incredible. Because, okay, so as seasoned as you guys both are, I mean, you guys have incredible backgrounds, and you clearly know how to take your passion and put it in the right direction and be true to yourselves and gain success in doing it. Do you feel like you're going to stay in South Florida, or do you think you might go elsewhere? Because I know a lot of people, they have New York dreams or LA dreams, or how do you guys feel about where you're at geographically?
Florida's a tough market, I mean, but there's a lot of cool people down here in West Palm that have been really nice to us and have responded in an awesome way. So thanks to their support, we've even made it this far. But like you said, what is the quote? We didn't come this far to only come this far.
There you go.
So yeah, there are future plans of going elsewhere. But as far as our home base, I mean, we consider West Palm our home base. Since we've had mild success here, and it's been great thus far.
Were you guys both born and raised here, or?
Nicaragua, actually.
Nicaragua.
I like the way you said it. Nicaragua.
Ooh, say it again.
Nicaragua.
Woo! There you go.
Yeah. And I'm Philadelphia, so there's no accent in there.
It's Philadelphia. Philadelphia.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's the way you say it.
nothing in terms of that. But no, if somebody was to say, hey, we are going to fully support what you guys are doing, we'd like you to re-record your album at this studio in Los Angeles. We're going to need you to be there for 6 months.
Guess who's going there?
Yeah. Guess who is now a California resident?
Be like, okay, so I just called Uber for the airport and you're getting my plane ticket ready.
Yeah. I mean, as much as, listen, this is one of the pride things, I think, to us, because Florida's so tough and because it's such a traveling community, it's such a melting pot. There's so many people that just come in for 3 months of the year and then go back up. So even if they are a quote-unquote fan, it's hard to keep them in this area to say, hey, come check out our CD release party. I know you guys were such huge fans, but now you're back up in Name Your Place.
Right.
I would love to be, back in the 90s, I think it was, there's been some band, Dashboard Confessional, Newfound Glory, Creed. Yeah. I mean, even people now like Cassidy Pope, there's still a name and there's still a market. It's just like, you just have to find it. You just have to search it out. You have to make people want to be a part of what you're doing.
Right. So what's coming up with you guys in the future? Do you have any shows coming up that you can tell us about, or where can we find your music, all of that type of stuff?
So we, our music is in all digital stores, essentially, Amazon, iTunes, we're on Spotify. So anywhere you can find music, you'll be sure to find us.
Pandora, even though they take 20 years.
Yeah, they do. They take a while.
Approved for Hard As You Can, and it'll be on the Music Genome Project, basically. So that'll start being in rotation on Pandora within the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
So that'll be cool. Looking forward to that. We have a full EP coming out as well. We're just putting the finishing touches on a couple songs.
Is it the songs that are on your website right now, on the Hard As You Can? And
those 5 that are on
Hard As You Can, For You, The Call, Phase, and...
Okay, I don't feel so
That's a
guilty.
good question. Yeah, that's a good.
We don't know our own
That's a
song.
good question. Crutch. No. It's not even Crutch.
It's another song that's on there.
I don't know.
Phase. We didn't say phase.
No, I said
we definitely
phase.
said phase.
That's all right.
Anyway, there's an extra one we're recording
Yeah.
now.
Go to chemradery.com and find
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Chemradery, and we got to spell it out. CHEMRADERY.
All right. You heard it here first.
It'll be 6 songs. One more added to that.
How long do you think that might be ready?
We're trying to get it ready in a couple weeks.
So just
Yeah, I think we were pushing for what, like early November.
Early November.
okay.
We're like I said with that secretly disclosed show.
Yeah.
We're setting it all up so that this is just like the biggest thing of the year for us. I mean, it will. It'll be the
so
end of the year.
excited.
It'll be December, and
I have some guesses, but I'll guess after.
It's
the
pretty
podcast.
close.
For sure.
I have some guesses. I have one big guess, but I'll wait. One more question I had for you. Is that Harding on your tattoos?
It is.
Love it. He's one of my
Very cool.
favorites. I can't believe I'm like, that can't be.
Trust
Nah.
me, I get all different kinds of like, oh, who's Max Weber or something? Max, I don't know. He sells a lot of paintings in Boca, and they're like, oh, I like your this, and I'm like, yeah, that's not him, but that's cool.
Yeah.
Or this one when they go like, oh, is that a New York skyline? I'm like, yeah, you're probably not from New York if you think that it is. Like, it's obviously Philadelphia. But anyway, I'm so ADD. Basically, the long story of the short was that we were saying is November 12th we're playing. We're going to be playing Clematis by Night. It'll be us headlining the event. I believe
November 12th?
November 12th.
For some reason, I thought Clematis by Night was only during the summer, but it's not. Apparently.
Yeah, apparently they. Yeah, we're playing that. You know, we're playing our. We just played Hard Rock the other night. We also play Seminole Casino and Copper Blues in West Palm Beach.
There's some awesome, amazing spots.
Harborside in Harborside Amphitheater.
So should people? Is the best place to keep abreast of your tour dates? Is it the website? Is it your Twitter? Is it your Facebook?
Yeah, any social media and our website will have all that information.
Yeah. Okay. So I want people to
So any, you know, we're not the best. How do you say this? Tweeters?
Yep.
Twitterers. We're trying to twits. No.
Twits.
We're trying to better our tweeting.
You're tweeting.
Because, you know, we've done everything on Facebook, and that's substantially grown and everything like that. But you know, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, we're trying to bring it up.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? So check it out. Facebook.com/Chemradery. Same thing. Twitter, what is it? @Chemradery.
@Chemradery.
Instagram @Chemradery. Everything. We
So
make
you
it
make it
easy.
really hard to find
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Spell the names
There's
out.
no change. You can even Google the name Chemradery, and that's the only thing on the whole entire internet is our band name.
That's very smart. Very smart.
I think so, man.
Well, I thank you guys so much for being on. I think you guys are lovely. I knew that ahead of time, but meeting you in person, it's a million times even more obvious.
Thank you.
I think you guys are great, headed towards major successes, and I'm going to be cheering you guys all the way.
Thank you so much for
Thanks
having
a
us.
lot.
We really
Absolutely.
appreciate
Do you guys want to sign off the podcast? It's super easy. Introduce yourselves however you want, and then you just say, this has been Curve the Cube.
All right, this is Greg and Ivan from Chemradery. Oh, wait. Yeah, this is Greg and Ivan from Chemradery, and this has been Curve the Cube, right? All right.
There you go.
This is Greg.
This is Ivan.
And this is Curve the Cube.
Woo! Thank you guys. High fives.
Thank you so
You
much.
guys are awesome. Yay! That was great, you guys.
What are your guesses? I'm interested in your guesses.
You have successfully curved the cube.
In the day, the tick-tock of the clock on the wall is forcing me to pay. I got dollars in my wallet, change in my pocket, but none of it makes sense. As my ink is drying, people are dying, I've got something to say. Live each moment like your last, because life is just too fast, and we only see is it the second, the minute, the hour.